parapro at for special needs kids at Cumming Elementary. And when this happened on May the 5th, I remember going to school. There was a beautiful sunrise that morning, and I shared pictures with family and friends of that beautiful sunrise. And we were playing on the playground, and I had this energy burst. They call it just an adrenaline flow, which goes along with the
Takotsubo cardiomyopathy.
with the heart incident, and then I just go down. So when we were on the playground, the teacher that I work with is Kelly Hiller, and she noticed that I was running with the kids and just having a big time. But that was actually an adrenaline rush that my body was going through right before the heart failure. So when I actually went down on the playground, my parapro friend that works with me, Cindy Red, she came over and checked me right away and let my teacher, Kelly Hiller, let her know I wasn't being a prankster, that I was really having difficulty. And so Miss Cindy Red and her teacher, Miss Susan, they quickly got the children off the playground, got them inside safe. And my teacher, Kelly Hiller, stayed with me the whole time until Nurse Kim could get there. And then they took over and took care of me.
Once the AED was out there, I had two of the other teachers helped me get the AED, the pads put on her. And then our school resource officer, he had already came over to the event and had called for the ambulance. And thankfully there was already an ambulance in the area. So they had already been en route over here. And I guess our school resource officers, they all hear the radios. So the school resource officer over at the high school that's across the road, she heard what was happening. So she quickly got in her car and came over here as well. And she helped. So when she got here, she quickly jumped in and helped with CPR as well. And about that time is when the ambulance arrived. So the ambulance then took over and they were able to get the staff member loaded up pretty quickly and on the way to the hospital.
Yes, I don't remember anything that happened on the playground. That was on a Friday. Yes, a Friday morning. And then it was Saturday morning when I woke up and saw family members and wasn't quite sure what had happened, and but just knew that I was in a safe place and being taken care of.
Well, once we got to Northside Forsyth Hospital, we waited for probably 5 hours, and then the doctor finally came out and told us that she had the Takotsubo cardiomyopathy, which we'd never heard of. We just assumed she'd had a heart attack. He's like, no, her veins are great. This is just something that happens because of a very stressful situation, which we still don't know why it happened. But he had put in a balloon into her heart, which didn't work, and then he put what's called an impella into her heart to move the blood. And he said, we're going to keep this in there, move her to Northside Gwinnett, which has better medical stuff for the heart. And but he thought that device would be enough. But when we got to Northside Gwinnett, we waited another 7 hours, and they finally came out and said they had to take the impella out, and they put her on life support. She was on the ECMO life support, and she was on that for like a day and a half, and her heart recovered from 10 to 15% to almost 50% in that day and a half. And apparently only 55 to 60% is normal. So she was almost back to normal after a day and a half. And when the doctors told us that people that have this only have a less than 10% chance of survival, that's when it really hit me how desperate and this situation really was. The school nurse told us the Northside Forsyth told them that 7% in Forsyth County would survive this, and nationwide it's only like 4.3%, because if you don't have CPR and the defibrillator very quick, you're not going to make it.
first person I got to see was our SRO, Mr. Nick. And so I got to give him a hug, and then walking down the hall, just seeing so many friends and a lot of the people that had their hand in helping me that day. We got to spend some time with the nurse and just talk to her, and it was, and then making our way down to the playground. I had mentioned that it was healing for myself. I don't remember it, but it was healing for myself to be there, and it was also healing for all the other teachers that were there that morning, to just see me walk back on my own. It was really a miracle and a God thing. His handprints have been on everything and everybody. So very appreciative.
And what did you say to those teachers and nurses when you saw them?
Oh, just I don't have the words except for thank you and I love you. And they are my angels here on earth. I truly believe that. And they're very much appreciated, and I love them, and they know that.